Welcome back. Hundreds of runners are gearing up for this Sunday's half marathon and relay race in Plattsburgh. This year will be the 10th running of the race that has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for Team Fox, which is actor Michael J. Fox's foundation for Parkinson's research. Stephanie Desautels and her friend Jen Boyer started the race in 2010 after Stephanie's father was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Stephanie Desautels and Jen Boyer join us now. Welcome. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I should say welcome back. You both joined us, if it wasn't the first year, it was the second year that you were organizing this race.
Correct.
And we talked about it then. 10 years. Is it hard to believe it's been 10 years?
Pretty hard to believe.
Or is there so much work and so much effort that's gone into this that it's not hard to believe, because this has really been a huge project for both of you?
I would say a little of both. I mean, we say it all the time, it's unbelievable that it's 10 years, but at the same time, it definitely is a lot of work. I mean, we start planning right after the race for next year, setting the date and figuring out things where we'd like to improve or add on or make it anything to make it better. So it's definitely months of preparation. But it's just so worth it at the end, and when we get to race day, we're just so excited, and it all comes together, and it's just amazing to have that. It's like planning a wedding where it's so much work, and then it's over, and you're sad it's over, but we get to do it again every year, so it makes it worth it.
Do you get to enjoy it on race day,
Absolutely.
like
Yes.
folks that are wedding day?
Yeah. I say we enjoy it more now than we did 10 years ago.
It's true.
It's true. It's a well-oiled machine now. And it's nice. I think it's nice that we can enjoy it, because before it was it can be stressful. It's a lot of people, a lot of organizers, a lot of volunteers. It can be. I mean, Stephanie does a great job with all of that piece of it that makes the day of the event so well run for the athletes that participate.
And it's really become a success for Plattsburgh. I mean, this has become a signature event for the city of Plattsburgh.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the things that we cherish the most, is that it's really become a community event, and that was the first thing that we said when we decided to do this race, was that we wanted it to be a community event. We wanted to get people along the course, cheering people on, different sponsors, which is why we do the mile marker sponsors, and we have the taiko drummers and different things out on the course to motivate people. And really running races, we knew that the races that we enjoy the most are the ones where you have a lot of entertainment along the course to keep you motivated, to keep you going.
And you really have had buy-in from the community. Spectators turn out, volunteers turn out.
It seems like every year it all just comes together with the amount of volunteers that just end up saying yes again. And we have people who have been with us for 10 years that volunteer every single year. And that's something rewarding in and of itself, that people come back every year.
And the race has grown. The number of runners has grown, and where they come from. You now get runners from all across New York,
We've represented over
New
30
England,
states, I believe, at this point.
and Canada. Do they come across the border?
Absolutely. And we advertise up there as well, because we're only an hour away, and we've run in the Montreal half marathon, but that's in September. So to have a spring race is really nice to get people moving in the winter, and whether it's on a treadmill or wherever they can find somewhere safe to run, it's great. Yeah, and to have people coming from other areas, whether they have ties to the area or whatever it may be, coming and staying in our hotels and eating at the restaurants, it's win-win for the whole community. So it's really nice to have that.
And it's U.S. track and field certified. Is that a big deal?
Yeah, absolutely. To be USATF certified is definitely a big deal. We were certified I believe the second year. And yeah, absolutely, they can use it as a qualifying race to get into bigger races for sure, their time. And a lot of runners love our course because it's pretty flat and fast, so they can really push their, themselves to get to that qualifying time.
Yeah. And you cap it at 1,000 runners. Is that just beyond that, it's just too big to try to control?
Due to being in the North Country, you have to kind of have a place for all the runners to be. and the Oval Gym has just been such a great location. And with more than that, we probably would have to move it outside. And anyone who is a runner who has participated in various races knows they've been caught in snowstorms, rainstorms, things like that. You know, they're not out in the conditions if the weather's not been so great.
And that's important to have a place where they can get warm, stay warm before the race, and then go after. In late April, as we know, when the race first started, you had it in late April. You can get all kinds of weather. It can be quite chilly in late April for the runners. So that's important to have a place for them to be able to go and stay warm before the race starts.
Exactly, yes, and they definitely appreciate it. You can tell. I mean, when they cross the finish line, they can go in there and there's enough space for them to stretch or for them not to be like feeling like they're packed together or that they have to leave immediately afterwards. You know, that's one of the other great things is that we have great food and entertainment and massage therapists that volunteer their time, and the runners really get to like relax afterwards in a large space where they don't feel cramped.
And you have moved it now to the first week in May for the past few races. Did you run into issues with if it rained, it would be really chilly? Did you ever have snow for any of the races?
One year.
One year you had
it
snow.
cleared up by the time the race started, but we woke up at 4 a.m. and looked outside, and my car was covered in snow, and I was like in tears. No one's gonna want to run in this, and then it ended up clearing up and actually being a beautiful day. But it's amazing, this time of year, as we all know, 1 week can make a huge difference. We liked having it in April. April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, which is, of course, why we do this race. And a week just made a big difference. And to go 2 weeks is always Mother's Day, so we feel mothers like our day of rest at least. So we try not to go too far. And also with the Vermont City Marathon, usually our race is a perfect precursor for runners if they're training to run in that. So the distance is usually pretty on par with that. So we try and have that be a little, at least a month away. So,
and I felt we were also always struggling with like Easter and spring break. When we had it in April, we were always like, oh my goodness, okay, it's like a few days after, or people are flying in that day. So now that we have it a week later in May, it's zero conflicts, which tends to help with the volunteer part, the runner part, all of it.
Absolutely.
So that part also was another reason why we moved it to May.
And you talked about Parkinson's. That when you started this 10 years ago, your dad had just been diagnosed with Parkinson's, and this was a way that you saw to raise awareness, to raise funds for Parkinson's research. You teamed up with Michael J. Fox, the actor, and his Michael J. Fox Foundation that raises money for Parkinson's. How successful have you been raising both awareness and funds for Parkinson's research?
It's been amazing. A lot of people when we first started didn't know what Team Fox was, and it's grown so much, and this entire area, it's been wonderful to see, and we've been lucky enough to raise so much money for the cause. We're hoping by after this year we'll be up over $300,000 that we've raised since we've started the race. So that's huge. If we're able to give that to them and help raise awareness at the same time has been wonderful.
And they direct the funds that they receive from you to both research looking for a cure and for treatments to try to make
100% of the monies that are fundraised from any fundraiser across the country are all directly given to the research committees. Absolutely.
And while they're still searching for a cure, are they in the meantime also finding new treatments that really are making life better for people with Parkinson's?
All the time. In fact, just this month there was another one. All the time there's new trials, clinical trials, and new medicines coming out all the time, and they really do feel that they're very close to finding a cure. So that's really exciting.
Back a few years ago, there was talk of maybe taking this from a half marathon to a full marathon, but was the decision made then that it's better as a half marathon?
It would be a really hard undertaking in Plattsburgh. The course would have to go into the town most likely unless we did like 2 loops. I think that it would be tough strategically to do it. And I think that the success of our race, like Stephanie said from the very beginning, of making it more of a community event, by us actually adding the relay and the 10K and the 5K, allows more young kids to be involved, teens, adolescents. I mean, if we look across the board as far as like the country goes when it comes to wellness, it gives an opportunity to all people to basically be a part of our race. And I think for a small community, that is more important sometimes than like having this big blown out like marathon. It is a tough training. It is a tough race for sure. And you really have to physically, mentally there's real training involved, where I think that our race gives people, all types of people, the option to participate, which is important, I think, especially with the drive to bring wellness to a community.
And it makes it more of a community race.
Exactly, yeah. And more families come out and their kids can run the 5K while they might participate in the half marathon. It just gives that overall feeling of more of a family community event, which is what we, I mean, the race began because of Stephanie's family, her father. So it just gives that more of that sense of family type atmosphere.
We're excited this year too. We have people for all ages from 5 to 77 that are registered to run and in the different races, and that's never been the case.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see 5-year-olds out there, that are going to do the 5K.
Yeah.
So
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And 77-year-olds.
Yeah, and doing the half
participating.
actually.
No
so
kidding.
Absolutely, yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, and I think that we get, and even yesterday we had, the Beatontown Middle School is doing a race in the mid-May for the honor flight, and all these 7th graders want to help us. They want to participate and help us like manage the 5K because they're going to be doing a 5K. I just think it brings such a sense of community, all these, just to give this opportunity to these young kids to get this accomplishment too. So, and to watch their friends run and their parents run, it really is good. I think this year it's going to be really exciting to see all of the different dynamics of it.
Absolutely.
And if runners are interested, is it too late to sign up if they're watching now, if it's Friday night and they're watching, or even on Saturday? Is there
Online registration?
Online registration is
but-
closed as of Thursday, as of this Thursday of this week, but they can still
At the gym
sign
at
up.
Packet Pickup, yes. Saturday from 2 to 5, we have Packet Pickup, and they can come and register, as well as Sunday morning from 6 to 7:30.
Right before the race.
Absolutely,
Right.
yeah.
Which starts at 8 o'clock right on the button.
Yes.
So they would come to the gym at the
gym.
US Oval and sign up right there in person.
Correct.
And if enough spots are left open for them to come and
Right.
participate.
Yes, absolutely.
So as you reflect back, did you think it would be this successful and to draw this many people?
I mean, honestly, we kind of did. I mean, we when we talked about doing a race for Team Fox, it was Jen that was like, "I'm in, but I want to do a big race. Let's do a big race." And I was like, "Okay, here we go." And we didn't have anything like that here. There was no big race. There's a lot of 5K walks, runs, but there was nothing bigger than that. No 10K, no half marathon. And really, I mean, we closed out the first year with 500 people in a month, and it was so quick. And then the next year we closed out with 1,000 runners pretty quickly as well. So it was clear that it was something that the area wanted, needed, was excited for. And to be here 10 years later, still going strong, is amazing. We're so excited about it, and we're glad that we were able to make it happen.
Steph Desautels, Jen Boyer, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For taking the time to be with us. We
Thanks.
appreciate it. You can find registration info, a map of the course, and more about the half marathon at plattsburghhalfmarathon.com.